Hey, Derek here. Welcome to another installment of Chapter and Verse by D-Licious Media. Make sure you subscribe to the D-Licious Media YouTube channel to keep up with all D-Licious Media content. So, Chapter and Verse. Every other Thursday, I'm going to be going chapter by chapter in the Dhammapada, the sayings of Buddha. Every other Friday, the Holy Quran, the Holy Book of Islam. Every other Saturday, the New Testament, the Old Testament. Every other Saturday, the Old Testament of the Bible, and every other Sunday, the New Testament of the Bible. So it is Saturday, so we're going to be going, doing a chapter in the Old Testament of the Bible. We're on chapter 2 from the book of Genesis. So let's dive in. Chapter 2, Old Testament of the Bible, the book of Genesis. Thus the heavens and the earth were finished, and all the host of them. And on the seventh day God ended his work which he had made, and he rested on the seventh day from all his work which he had made. And God blessed the seventh day and sanctified it, because that in it he had rested from all his work which God created and made. The man and woman in Eden. These are the generations of the heavens and of the earth when they were created, in the day that the Lord God made the earth and the heavens. And every plant of the field before it was in the earth, and every herb of the field before it grew. For the Lord God had not caused it to rain upon the earth, and there was not a man to till the ground. But there went up in the midst from the earth, and watered the whole face of the ground. And the Lord God formed man of the dust of the ground, and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. And man became a living soul. So that's interesting. Life of the first man began when God breathed breath into him. Life of man began at breath. Where was I? Okay. And man became a living soul. And the Lord God planted a garden eastward in Eden, and there he put the man whom he had formed. And out of the ground made the Lord God to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight, and good for food. The tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. And a river went out of Eden to water the garden, and from hence it was parted, and became into four heads. The name of the first is Pison, or Pison. That is it which compasseth the whole land of Havilah, where there is God. And the gold of that land is good. There is bdellium in the onyx stone. And the name of the second river is Gihon. The same is that compasseth the whole land of Ethiopia. And the name of the third river is Hiddekel. And that is which groweth toward the east of Assyria. And the fourth river is Euphrates. And the Lord God took the man and put him into the garden of Eden to dress it and to keep it. And the Lord God commanded the man, saying, Of every tree of the garden thou mayest freely eat, but of the tree of knowledge of good and evil thou shalt not eat of it. For in the day of thou eatest, therefore thou shalt surely die. And the Lord God said, It is not good that man should be alone. I will make him an help meet for him. And out of the ground the Lord formed every beast of the field, and every fowl of the air, and brought them unto Adam to see what he would call them. And whatsoever Adam called every living creature, that was the name. So man named everything, not God. And Adam gave names to all cattle, and to all fowl of the air, and to every beast of the field. But for Adam there was not found and help meet for him. Let me read that again. But for Adam there was not found and help meet for him. Is that a typo? And the Lord God caused a deep sleep to fall upon Adam, and he slept. And he took one of his ribs and closed up the flesh instead therefore. And the rib which the Lord God had taken from man made he a woman, and brought her unto the man. And Adam said, This is now bone of my bones, and flesh of my flesh. She shall be called woman, because she was taken out of man. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. And they were both naked, the man and his wife, and were not ashamed. So that's chapter 2 from the book of Genesis, the first book of the Old Testament of the Bible. So basically the creation of Adam and Eve. I guess my main takeaway, and something that is of great debate in our culture and our politics, is when does life begin? And the life of the first man began with God breathing breath into him, and him taking his first breath. And that's kind of always where I have felt, or at least come to felt, life begins with your first breath and it ends with your last breath. So breath, the beginning of life and the end of life. So yeah, that's chapter 2 from the book of Genesis, the first book of the Old Testament of the Bible. This has been installment 2 of chapter and verse, the Old Testament of the Bible. Tomorrow is Sunday, so we'll be doing a chapter from the New Testament of the Bible. And this project, again, will be now every other week, every other Thursday, every other Friday, every other Saturday, every other Sunday. So this has been this installment. I'd love to hear what you think about this in the comments. Please like and subscribe to the D-Licious Media YouTube channel to keep up with all D-Licious Media content. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.